Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of our 30-day English listening challenge. I'm Emma, and I'm so happy you're here. Every day, we'll talk about a famous movie using simple English. Our goal is not to study difficult grammar. Our goal is to enjoy English, listen every day, and become more confident. Today's movie is Titanic. It's one of the most famous movies in the world. Even if you've already seen it, I think you'll notice something new today.
Hi, everyone. I'm James, and I'm excited to start this challenge with you. Titanic is a great movie. For our first day, because almost everyone knows its story. It has romance, adventure, drama, and history all in one film. Many people watched it years ago, and many young people still watch it today. That says a lot about how special this movie is. Emma, do you remember the first time you watched Titanic?
Oh, yes, I was much younger and I wasn't ready for such a powerful story. At first, I thought it was only a love story. But after watching it again, I understood that it's about much more than love. It's about hope, dreams, difficult choices, family, fear, and the value of every single life. Every time I watch it, I notice a new detail. That is one reason why I never get tired of this movie.
I had a similar experience. When I first watched Titanic, I focused on the main characters. Later, I started paying attention to the ship itself. It almost feels like another character in the movie. Everything looks beautiful. The rooms are elegant. The music creates a calm feeling at first. Then, little by little, everything changes. The movie slowly builds tension, and you can almost feel it without anyone saying much.
I also love how different the two main characters are. Rose grows up in a rich family, but she doesn't feel free. She has beautiful clothes and an expensive lifestyle, yet she isn't happy. Jack is very different. He doesn't have much money, but he enjoys simple things. He laughs easily, meets new people, and finds happiness in small moments. When these two people meet, their lives begin to change forever.
That's true. Their relationship feels natural because they learn from each other. Jack shows Rose that life can be exciting without expensive things. Rose helps Jack see another world, even if it is very different from his own. They come from completely different backgrounds, but they understand each other better than many people around them. I think that's one reason why so many viewers remember their story.
One thing that always surprises me is how beautiful every scene looks. The costumes are amazing. The dining rooms, the grand staircase, the cabins, and even the smallest decorations look real. Sometimes I forget I'm watching a movie because everything feels so alive. It doesn't feel like a set. It feels like we're really walking through the Titanic.
The filmmakers spent an incredible amount of time creating that feeling. They wanted viewers to believe they were traveling back in time. Many parts of the ship were carefully recreated. When you watch the movie, you can see how much attention was given to every little detail. Even people walking in the background make the world feel real. That kind of work takes patience and talent.
We should also talk about the music. I think it's impossible to hear the main theme without thinking about this movie. The music is soft, emotional, and unforgettable. Sometimes there are no words at all, but the music tells you exactly what the characters are feeling. It makes happy moments feel brighter and sad moments even more emotional.
I agree. A great soundtrack doesn't distract you. It supports the story. Titanic has one of those soundtracks that people remember for many years. Even if someone has never watched the movie, they often recognize the music. That's very rare. It shows how powerful the film became around the world.
Another reason people love Titanic is that it mixes fiction with real history. The Titanic was a real ship and the disaster really happened. Of course, Jack and Rose are fictional characters, but they help us imagine what people might have felt during those terrible hours. We don't just learn facts, we connect with the emotions of the people on the ship.
That's an important point. History books can tell us what happened, but movies can help us imagine what life was like. Titanic shows people from different social classes. Some passengers lived in luxury, while others traveled with very little. The movie reminds us that, when the disaster happened, everyone faced the same danger. Fear did not care how rich or poor someone was.
I also like that the movie makes us think about our own lives. What would we do in a difficult situation? Would we help other people? Would we stay calm? Would we be brave? These questions stay with me long after the movie ends. Very few films make me think about life in that way.
Exactly. Titanic is much more than a romantic movie. It's a story about love, courage, sacrifice, hope, and the choices people make when everything changes. That's probably why people continue to watch it again and again, even after so many years. And we've only just begun talking about it. In the next part, we'll look more closely at the characters, their relationships, and the moments that made this movie unforgettable. In the first part, we talked about why Titanic is such a famous movie. Now let's take a closer look at the characters. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people still love this film. The story wouldn't be the same without Jack and Rose. They feel like real people. They have dreams, fears, and problems. Even though they are very different, you quickly understand both of them.
I completely agree. Rose looks like she has a perfect life, but she doesn't. She has expensive dresses, beautiful jewelry, and a first-class ticket. However, she feels trapped. Her mother wants her to marry a rich man. Everyone tells her what to do. Nobody asks what she really wants. I always feel sorry for her because money cannot buy freedom or happiness.
Then we meet Jack. His life is almost the opposite. He wins his ticket in a card game just before the ship leaves. He doesn't know what will happen next, but he smiles anyway. He enjoys every moment. He talks to everyone. He doesn't worry about looking important. I think that's one reason why Rose is so interested in him. He lives the kind of life she secretly dreams about.
One of my favorite scenes is when Jack shows Rose the third-class party. The atmosphere is completely different from the elegant dinners upstairs. People are laughing, dancing, singing, and simply enjoying life. Nobody cares about expensive clothes or perfect manners. They just want to have fun together. That scene always makes me smile because it feels so warm and full of energy.
Yes, it's one of the happiest moments in the movie. It also shows the difference between the social classes. First-class passengers have luxury, but many of them are serious and careful all the time. The people in third class have much less money, but they laugh more and enjoy simple things. The movie doesn't say that one group is better than the other. It simply shows two very different worlds on the same ship.
We should also talk about Kale. He's Rose's fiancé, and many people dislike him from the very beginning. He is rich, confident, and used to getting everything he wants. At first, he may seem polite, but little by little, we see another side of him. He wants to control Rose instead of understanding her. Love should never feel like a prison, and I think the movie shows that very clearly.
I agree. Cal is an interesting character because he believes money can solve every problem. When something goes wrong, his first idea is often to use his wealth or his influence. Jack is completely different. He doesn't have money, but he offers kindness, honesty, and courage. The contrast between these two men makes the story even stronger.
Rose also changes a lot during the movie. At the beginning, she seems quiet and careful. Later, she becomes braver. She starts making her own decisions. She begins to trust herself. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of the story. Titanic is not only about falling in love, it's also about finding yourself and choosing the life you really want.
That's a great point. Jack helps Rose discover that she is stronger than she thinks. But Rose also changes Jack's life. She gives him hope for a different future. Their relationship isn't only romantic. They inspire each other to become better people. That's why their story still touches so many hearts.
Of course, we can't forget the captain and the crew. They had an impossible situation. Some people stayed calm until the very end. Others tried to help as many passengers as they could. Watching those scenes makes me think about responsibility and courage. We never know how we will react in a difficult moment until it really happens.
Another thing I admire is how the movie gives small moments to many different passengers. We don't only follow Jack and Rose. We see families, children, elderly couples, musicians, workers, and travelers from different countries. Even when they appear for only a short time, many of them leave a strong impression. That makes the disaster feel much more personal.
I always remember the musicians. They continue playing while people around them are afraid. It's a very emotional scene. They know the danger is real, but they choose to bring comfort to others. It reminds us that even small acts of kindness can mean a lot during difficult times.
Titanic is full of moments like that. Some are exciting, some are romantic, and some are heartbreaking. Together, they create a story that people remember for many years. In the next part, we'll talk about the unforgettable scenes, the famous ending, and why Titanic became one of the greatest movies ever made. So far, we've talked about the characters and their relationships. Now I'd like to discuss the scenes that people remember most. Titanic has many unforgettable moments. Some are exciting, some are emotional, and some are simply beautiful. Even people who watched the movie many years ago can still remember them. That doesn't happen with every film.
I think one of the most famous scenes is when Jack and Rose stand together at the front of the ship. Rose closes her eyes, opens her arms, and says she feels like she's flying. It's such a simple moment, but it became one of the most famous scenes in movie history. Many people have tried to recreate it while traveling on boats or even during vacations. It became much more than a movie scene. It became part of popular culture.
Another unforgettable moment is when Jack draws Rose's portrait. There isn't a lot of action in that scene, but it's full of trust and emotion. Rose decides to be herself without pretending to be someone else. Jack doesn't judge her. He simply sees her as a real person. That scene tells us a lot about their relationship without needing many words.
Then everything changes when the ship hits the iceberg. I always notice how quiet that moment is. There isn't loud music or people screaming immediately. At first, many passengers don't even understand what has happened. Some continue talking, laughing, and enjoying their evening. That calm feeling actually makes the coming disaster even more shocking.
Yes, and that's very realistic. In real life, people often don't understand the danger at first. The movie shows how confusion slowly turns into fear. At the beginning, some passengers don't want to leave the warm ship. Others believe everything will be fine. But little by little, everyone realizes the truth. The tension grows with every minute.
One thing that always makes me emotional is seeing families stay together. Some people know they may not survive, but they don't want to leave the people they love. Parents protect their children. Friends help each other. Couples refuse to separate. These moments remind us that love and kindness can still exist, even during terrible situations.
I also admire the bravery of many crew members. They continue helping passengers even when they know the danger is increasing. Some guide people to the lifeboats. Others try to keep everyone calm. They don't think only about themselves. They continue doing their jobs until the very end. That takes incredible courage.
We should also talk about the ending. It's one of the saddest endings in movie history. Jack doesn't survive, but he makes sure Rose has a chance to live. It's a heartbreaking sacrifice. Every time I watch that scene, I still hope things will somehow be different, even though I already know what happens. That's the power of a great story.
People still discuss that ending today. Some ask if Jack could have survived with Rose on the floating door. Others believe the ending is perfect exactly as it is. No matter which opinion you have, it shows how deeply people care about these characters. Movies are successful when people continue talking about them years later. And Titanic is a perfect example.
Rose's final promise is also very important. Jack tells her that she must survive, build a good life, and never give up. She keeps that promise. She grows older, experiences new adventures, has a family, and lives the life she almost lost. That message gives hope after such a sad ending. It reminds us that even after great loss, life can continue.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons why Titanic is still loved today. It isn't only a movie about tragedy, it's also a movie about hope, courage, love, and choosing to keep living after difficult experiences. Those ideas are timeless. They can inspire people from every generation.
Every time I finish watching Titanic, I feel a little different. Sometimes I feel grateful for the people in my life. Sometimes I think about making better use of my time. The movie reminds me that life can change very quickly, so we should appreciate every day and every person we love.
That's a beautiful lesson to end this discussion. In the final part of today's episode, we'll share our final thoughts about Titanic, talk about why it's still worth watching today, and finish day one of our 30-day English listening challenge together.
We've talked about the story, the characters, and the unforgettable scenes. Before we finish today's episode, I'd like to answer one simple question. Is Titanic still worth watching today? My answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Even though the movie was released many years ago, it still feels emotional and meaningful. Some movies become old very quickly, but Titanic is different. Every new generation discovers it again.
I feel the same way. Some people think Titanic is only popular because of the love story, but I think that's only one part of it. The movie also tells us about history, human nature, courage, fear, hope, and difficult decisions. It makes us ask important questions. What really matters in life? What kind of person do we want to be? Those questions never become old.
I also think Titanic teaches us not to judge people too quickly. At the beginning, some characters seem kind while others seem cold or selfish. As the story continues, we see different sides of everyone. Some people become heroes, others disappoint us. That's very similar to real life. We often don't know what a person is truly, like, until they face a difficult situation.
Another reason I recommend Titanic is the incredible filmmaking. The acting still feels natural. The visual effects still look impressive. The music is unforgettable. The costumes and the ship itself are beautiful to look at. Every part of the movie was created with great care. You can feel how much work and passion went into every scene.
I know many people cry at the end of this movie, and honestly, I understand why. It's not only because of Jack and Rose, it's because we spend so much time with these characters that they begin to feel real. We celebrate their happy moments, worry about them, and hope everything will be okay. When a movie makes us care that much, it's doing something special.
I also think Titanic reminds us to appreciate the people around us. We often believe we have plenty of time. We postpone dreams, conversations, and adventures. But life can change when we least expect it. The movie encourages us to value every day and every relationship. That's a lesson many of us need to hear from time to time.
If you've never watched Titanic, I really hope you'll give it a chance. If you've already seen it, maybe it's time to watch it again. You may notice details that you missed before. You may understand the characters in a different way. Sometimes we change, and because of that, the same movie gives us a completely new experience.
And if you're learning English, movies like Titanic are a fantastic resource. You can listen to real conversations, learn useful vocabulary, improve your pronunciation, and enjoy an amazing story at the same time. Learning English doesn't always have to feel like studying. Sometimes it can simply be a great evening with a wonderful movie.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope today's conversation helped you practice your English and maybe inspired you to watch Titanic again. Remember, progress comes from small daily steps. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going.
You've completed day one of the 30-day English listening challenge. Congratulations. That's a great start, and we're really happy you joined us. Tomorrow we'll talk about another famous movie and learn even more English together. Until then, keep listening, keep learning, and most importantly, enjoy the journey.
Take care, keep smiling, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.